Good day, sir. I'm Micaela Gonzalez, and I am going to discuss the modern approach to axiomatics. And yung napili ko po is the informal logic. So first, what is logic? It is the study of correct reasoning, especially regarding making inferences. It teaches us the system of methods and principle to use as criteria for evaluating the arguments of others to guide us in constructing arguments of our own. So logic began as a philosophical term and is now used in other disciplines like math and computer science. So logic is the discipline that examines the structure of reasoning to distinguish valid arguments from invalid ones. It provides tools and principles for analyzing and creating arguments, influencing fields like philosophy, mathematics, and computer science. So we have the two nature of arguments, the premise and conclusion. So first, what is premise? A premise is a statement in an argument that provides reason or support for the conclusion. There can be one or many premises in single arguments. So a premise is a statement that provides the foundation or reasoning behind an argument, helping to support the conclusion. It acts as the evidence or justification that leads to the final claim, and an argument can have a single premise or multiple premises working together to strengthen the conclusion. So next is the conclusion. A conclusion is a statement in an argument that indicates of what the arguer is trying to convince the listener. So, a conclusion is the main point or claim in an argument that the speaker or writer is trying to persuade the audience to accept. It is the outcome or result derived from the premises which the arguer believes to be true based on the supporting reasons provided. So it is an argument if the speaker or writer intends to offer evidence or reasons why another statement should be accepted as true. If not, it is non-arguments. So let's now proceed to deductive arguments. Deductive arguments incorporate the claim that it is impossible for the conclusion to be false if the premises are true. So deductive arguments are structured in a way that if the premises are true, the conclusion must also be true, leaving no possibility for the conclusions to be false. So this means that the reasoning is intended to be logically valid, and the conclusion follows necessarily from the premises. So example, the premises is all squares are rectangles, all rectangles have four sides, and the conclusion of this is all squares have four sides. Next is the inductive arguments. Inductive arguments claim that it is improbable that the conclusion be false if the premises are true. So inductive arguments suggest that if the premises are true, the conclusion is likely or probable but not guaranteed to be true. Unlike deductive reasoning, which provides certainty, inductive reasoning offers a conclusion that is supported by evidence but allows for the possibility that the conclusion could still be false. So we have the example here. The premises is an umbrella prevents you from getting wet in the rain. Ashley took her umbrella and she did not get wet. And the conclusion of this is, in this case, you could use inductive reasoning to offer an opinion that it was probably raining. And explanation, your conclusion, however, would not necessarily be accurate because Ashley would have remained dry whether it rained and she had an umbrella or it didn't rain at all. So deductive argument will be valid if and only if it takes a form that makes it impossible for the premises to be true and the conclusion nevertheless to be false. Otherwise, a deductive argument is said to be invalid. So let us now proceed to informal logic. Informal logic is a broad term for any of the various methods of analyzing and evaluating arguments used in everyday life. Informal logic is commonly regarded as an alternative to formal or mathematical logic, also known as non-formal logic or critical thinking. So informal logic refers to the methods used to analyze and assess arguments in everyday situations, focusing on reasoning in everyday language rather than strict formulas or rules. It is often contrasted with formal logic, which uses structured mathematical principles and is also known as critical thinking, as it involves evaluating the strength of arguments in practical real world context. So the example of this is the premises. Nikki saw a black cat on her way to work. At work, Nikki got fired. So the conclusion, black cats are a bad luck. And the explanation is this is a big generalization and can't be verified. So yun lang po yung about sa informal logic, and thank you po.